Last time we checked in with Texas, it was flirting with theocracy. Now they've put a ring on it, set the date, and mailed the invites. Only the invitations are plastered on the walls of your kid's classroom. Welcome back to Theocracy Watch, where we track how Christian nationalism isn't just influencing policy, it's embedding itself in public schools, one poster at a time.
This is Theocracy Watch.
In Texas, the church-state wall isn't just crumbling, it's being bulldozed by Senate Bill 10. We're following up on a previous segment from a few weeks ago, and at the time, it was a proposal to mandate the 10 Commandments in every K-12 public school classroom. Now it's passed the Senate, it's cleared the House with amendments, and it's on its way into becoming law. The bill requires a 16 by 20 inch display of a specific English version of the 10 Commandments to be clearly visible in every classroom statewide. And it won't be long before religious groups start arguing over which version is correct. Catholic, Protestant, Jewish, because even they can't agree on how the commandments are numbered or even interpreted. Especially ironic, considering the first commandment itself admits the existence of other gods. Notably, the first half of the commandments is entirely about their God's ego, no other gods, no idols, no taking his name in vain. But there's nothing about consent, nothing about slavery, rape, or child protections. Lawmakers claim it's about values, but even many Christians believe Jesus fulfilled these laws and are no longer binding, so why force them into classrooms? Especially when the commandments themselves leave massive ethical gaps. The only ones with any real use, don't steal, don't kill, don't lie, are just basic social contracts. The rest, worship rituals and control tactics. We had to pass actual laws to protect children, ban slavery, recognize consent, and ensure civil rights. Because the 10 Commandments treats women and children like property and openly condones slavery. And get this, consider precisely how much this defies the Constitution, because the Texas House added an amendment that says the state will pay the legal fees for any public school that gets sued over it. Marinate on that for a hot second. They're mandating religion in classrooms and pre-approving the lawsuits they've already decided that you, me, the taxpayer, will pick up the tab. It's not a mistake, it's the model. And religion is the weapon. Your rights are the target, and Project 2025 is the plan. Instead of values-based education, kids are getting state-sponsored indoctrination, plastered on the classroom walls under the illusion of morality. The covenant is expired, the commandments are performative, and the government has no business mandating mythology as law. When the state picks a religion, it stops serving the people and starts serving itself. So keep asking questions, folks, and until next time, stay curious.
I saw that myself. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we did kind of briefly, I think, was it yesterday or maybe even Monday we briefly mentioned it, but I didn't get a chance to, yeah.
Yeah, I saw in the news there was Texas. Yeah, and now you've got these out shared.
Yes, I thought, well, okay, if they have to be plastered into school classrooms, I had some ideas on how teachers could put them on the walls.
All right, and here we go. I'm going to share this screen with everybody. The 10 Commandments. I'll let you read these out. I'll let you drive.
And of course, this is AI, so please don't pay attention necessarily to the 10 Commandments themselves. Oh, right. But I thought the sign, you could put, over the sign, not a legal document.
Oh, good idea.
Why not?
Good idea. Why not?
Okay, a list of fictional characters: Zeus, Santa Claus, Frodo, Moses, Hercules. Hey, Moses wrote the 10 Commandments, but he's a fictional character. Where does that leave the 10 Commandments?
Good point. I like that one.
Just straightforward. Expired covenant. I think that one says it pretty clearly.
It does. Hey, while we're on that, all right, let me pause for just a moment. I'm going to read this super chat. Raven Lunatic says, why is Texas called the Lone Star State? Because you can't leave a 0-star rating. That's true. They're proud of that 1 star, though. They really are. Okay, I want to mention, here's a question I have for some Christians. Why is it that they want the 10 Commandments? And I'm going to press this too. I'm going to try to remember this, and I'm going to make a video or some business because this is important. Why is it that they push the 10 Commandments and not the Sermon on the Mount? I thought this didn't have anything to do with Jesus. This is the expired covenant, as you so creatively called in this
It's very confusing.
Yes. Yes.
And again, it's mostly about God's ego and how to worship him, how to perform, worshiping his strict one God practice. And skipping over the hey, maybe kids should have rights, maybe women should have autonomy. How about that?
Yeah, remember to keep the Sabbath day. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Who? That's such a waste of an opportunity right there.
Yeah, who gives a F? How does that help me? How does that make a civil society?
How does that do anything? One thing that made things better for all of society was the uncontested divorce. Making uncontested divorce a thing, where women could get free of an abusive man. That was more beneficial than anything on this list.
Right.